Hi guys, and welcome to another video. So I tweeted that I did my hair a bit differently. And I'm not sure if you can tell because I have really long hair right now, but I dyed the tips of my hair pink. I really love it. I want to give a huge shout out to Sophia. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, girl, but I'll have her channel linked in the description. You should definitely check her out. She's amazing and she has the coolest pink hair ever. And I was chatting with her and she told me, just do it. So I did. And I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. It is washout, so it will eventually wash out. Right now, I'm just enjoying the pink beauty. I do wish I had a setup that showed it off a bit more because, as I said, my hair is just too long right now. Anyway, let's get into the actual video. So today I'm gonna do a Top 5 Wednesday. I got inspired to do this by Grace from the channel G Swiss Books, so I'll have her channel linked in the description. And so Top 5 Wednesday is this good Top 5 Wednesday is this Goodreads. Oh my goodness. Top 5 Wednesday is a Goodreads group hosted by Sam from the channel Thoughts on Tomes. I will have her channel as well linked in the description. It's basically where she comes up with a topic every week and you tell people about the top 5 things in that category. So I'll have the Goodreads group linked in the description as well. Basically, just check out the description for amazing people to subscribe. Just check out my description after you finish watching this video. For this Top 5 Wednesday, the theme is classics I wish had modern adaptations. Now I'm going to mention a few that actually have modern adaptations, but I want even more adaptations. Simply because, one, some of these I just love too much and want to see more of. Two, I actually haven't read that many classics and even fewer that I've liked. Even though in my bookshelf towards here I have a whole classic shelf. I like the idea of reading them more than I like reading them. But I do love children's classics, which is why in this list I believe all are children's classics. So let's just get into it. So the first classic that I wish had more modern adaptations comes to no shock for anyone, but that is Peter Pan, Reggie Embery. This story has a lot of adaptation. Oh my goodness, I can't speak today. Peter Pan is a well-known story and it has been adapted many times, but I want another movie. It's been a long time since the last live-action movie came out, and I really think we can need another one. And maybe they could redo the story a little bit. There are a few really amazing book adaptations out there. I would highly recommend Peter Darling and Lost Boy, which are my two favorite Peter Pan adaptations or retellings. Are retellings and adaptations the same? I've just kind of assumed that that is the case, as you probably can hear by my accent. English is not my first language, so if those two things mean different things, then let me know in the comments. Anyway, I think it would be really good to see another movie. I just want to go on more adventures with Peter and Wendy and Tinkerbell, and I want to explore Neverland even more. They could do the book I mentioned earlier, Lost Boy, into a movie. I think would be such a good movie because that is Captain Hook's backstory, and I think many people would want to see that. Or even adapt Peter Darling into a movie, which is a Peter Pan retelling where Peter is a transgender boy, so Peter and Wendy are the same person. It's also amazing. I just want more Peter Pan and Neverland in my life. Can someone please make that happen? Alright, next up I have A Little Princess. This is a story about a girl named Sarah, and she goes to a boarding school in, I believe it's England, and she goes from being very rich to very poor, and it's about how she handles it, her values, her friendships. It is such a good book. I read it earlier this year and I gave it 5 stars easily. Now I do know that there is a movie, but I believe it's quite old. I actually haven't watched it, but I would love another one. And I haven't stumbled upon any retellings of this book, and I think it would be pretty cool to see the story adapted in our society. If there is any retellings out there that you know of, please let me know. Sarah as a character would be very inspirational for a lot of young girls and boys. She is so kind, and the way she treats other people is really amazing. And even as a 20-year-old, I could really appreciate and learn things from her. So I just think if they would adapt it in a way that was easy for kids to enjoy like a movie, I just feel like it would be a good way to make more impact in this world and make people a little bit kinder. Alright, the next book is by the same author, and that is A Secret Garden. And you've probably heard of this book before, and I believe that it actually is a movie. I haven't watched it. I think it's kind of old. They should make a new one. The Secret Garden follows a girl named Mary, and she moves back to England from India, I believe. And she's lost both her parents, so she goes to live with her uncle. And there's two parts of the story, if I remember correctly. It's been years since I read it, but I really, really want to reread it. But she stumbles upon this secret garden. And there's also a mystery where she hears sobs in the house. But when she tries to talk to the people that work there or her uncle, everybody just ignores her. So she's trying to figure out somebody's crying. And it's a really, really good book. And I think they should make another movie. Basically, I just want to watch everything that I read. I really like movie adaptations, as long as I read the book first. And especially children's books. Because when I was a kid, if I watched a really good movie, I would want to read the book behind it. That's how I discovered The Hunger Games. I first watched the movie, loved it so much, went home, bought the whole trilogy, loved it, still love it. The same with Twilight. I saw the first movie first, and I read all 4 books. And I feel if they did that with this, it would make children get more into books at an earlier age. The Secret Garden was actually one of the first books that I can remember loving. I borrowed it from our school library, and I remember falling in love with it. And I want more kids to feel that way about this book. Now, number 4 on my list is The Wizard of Oz. This also already has a movie out, which is really old, and I think they could really make a new one. If you haven't heard what The Wizard of Oz is about, it follows this girl Dorothy and her dog Toto, I think. There's a hurricane in Kansas and they end up in Oz, and she has to find the wizard to be able to get home to Oz. No. And she has to find the wizard in order to go home to Kansas. I actually haven't read these books, but I love the story, and I love the musical Wicked, which is the mean witch's backstory as a musical, and I think also a book. I just think that this story is so magical. And I love the whole lion and the tin guy and the scarecrow. I just want it to be made now with all the new technology we have. It doesn't even have to be set in our world, like in our time, but I just think that the special effects in the movies that are made now are a lot better than what it was many years ago. So I would just love to see this magic even more magical. Does that make sense? I don't know. The 5th and final book on my list is a book that I loved as a kid. Also loved the movie. Yes, there was a movie made from this too, and that's Pippi Longstocking. I used to love this. I believe that the author is Swedish, because I used to watch the Swedish movie. If you didn't know, I'm from Norway. Swedish is very similar to Norwegian, so can understand when the Swedish talk. And I love the movies, I love the books. She lives at home with no parents, and it's her adventures with her horse and her neighbors Tommy and Annika. And it's just such a whimsical story, and it's really funny. I would just love another movie. I think they could make a really cool live action movie out of it. So that was it for my first ever Top 5 Wednesday. You will see the same hair and makeup next week for my next Top 5 Wednesday, because I think I look good today. I have my hair done, I even curled it a little bit, I have my makeup done. So just be prepared, in a week's time it will be the same hair, makeup, clothes. Sorry, not sorry. But I really hope that you enjoyed watching this video. I will definitely do, as I said, next week's. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the October ones, it depends on what topics they are. Please let me know in the comments which classics you would want adapted. I would love to hear your answers. But if you like this video, I would love it if you would give it a like. And if you enjoy hearing me struggles? Can't even say that right. If you enjoy hearing me try to talk about books, then hit that subscribe button. Words are hard, guys. If you enjoy hearing me talking about books, then be sure to hit that subscribe button. You can add me on Twitter. Is it called add? Follow? I'll have my Twitter thing down below, as well as my Goodreads if you want to add me there. and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.